I believe you know these numbers. I'm actually pretty sure you do. Those numbers come from this pretty famous, widely cited, but at the same time, quite controversial study published by MIT in the end of 25. This study claims that despite huge investment in artificial intelligence, most of those initiatives fail badly. And this conclusion is confirmed by the recent Gartner statement, claiming that 80 to 95% of AI projects fail to bring measurable business value. So I've got this question to you. What's wrong with artificial intelligence? Is it because artificial intelligence is applied to the wrong use cases, users are not ready for AI, it's about data quality, or maybe the technology is not mature enough? Let's vote. Let's use the Mentimeter. I will leave you with the Mentimeter for 20 seconds, and meanwhile I'll take a sip of water. I can still see some of you are scanning the QR code. So let's give it a second more. Okay, can we take a look at the results? I think you mostly got it right, but I wonder who said the technology is not mature enough. Can you raise your hands? Oh, no one is there enough. Anyway, let's meet later in the corridor because I would like to understand what you mean by that. And right now, let me clarify why I agree with those who said it's about data quality, users are not ready for AI, or it's because of the wrong use cases. For this, For this, let me take you for a roller coaster. So this roller coaster is called Gartner Hype Cycle. ChatGPT release 2022, we observed skyrocketing of the observations regarding generative AI. But you know, at a certain moment, we reached the ceiling. Well, the ceiling, the peak is at the moment where the technology meets the reality, and from there, we start traveling rapidly down. Eventually, we reach this flat line at the end, which is called plateau of the productivity. It's the place where the expectations meet the real technology value. And according to Gartner, most of the market is here. Well, I represent a company which delivers AI services. So for me, the market is mostly about customers. And I call this part of market opportunistic customers. Why? Because they would like to benefit from artificial intelligence, but they do not quite understand how to do it properly. And in 2022, 2023, 2024, and partially in 2025, I've got a lot of conversation who look like that. Let me rephrase it a little bit. So it's me asking a customer, hello, how can I help you? And this is the customer saying, I would like to buy AI. Okay, great. What kind of problems you would like to solve with artificial intelligence? I don't know. You tell me. My pleasure. I will. Can I take a look at your data and your processes? No, we are not at this level. So when do you want this AI to be implemented? I want it right now. Great. So you know, with this kind of approach, you can't succeed with any technology, not only with artificial intelligence. But in the second part in 2025 and currently in 2026, I'm having less and less of this kind of conversations. In the last 12 months, I got like more or less 150 customer-facing meetings. And I dare to disagree with Gartner that we are at this line rapidly decreasing down. I would say most of the market currently is approaching this plateau of productivity. The customers are no longer asking this kind of questions. They are asking questions like, how can we get AI right? And the funny thing is, we also got this kind of customers before ChatGPT release. For most of you, it's pretty obvious that artificial intelligence was there before ChatGPT. Me, myself, I spent like 15 years doing artificial intelligence. We did like autonomous driving systems, we did document intelligence projects, we did multiple forecasting projects, the churn analysis, and so on and so on. And we delivered value. How the value may look like for you. 3 examples from the case studies that we delivered. For example, we leveraged artificial intelligence to reduce the workload related to legal documents drafting. Or we handled automatically 70% of customer inquiries. Or we increased the customer conversion rate for a financial institution by hyper-personalization of the offers. So there is the value, definitely. To get the value, you need to get AI strategy. AI strategy is made of 6 fundamental pillars: governance, value, organization, people and culture, data, and engineering. Let's take a look at AI governance. This is AI governance. Don't worry, I'm not a crazy person. I'm not going to dive into each of those cells and start describing it. And you also shouldn't. When you are building an AI strategy for your company, you should make it simple and pragmatic, aligned to your needs. Therefore, I assure you that from all these cells coming from a typical consulting slide, you require very few. Therefore, the message to you is, when you are building AI strategy, make it pragmatic, make it simple. Because if you overcomplicate the thing, you will spend months preparing the paperwork. But at the end, you may end at something which is overcomplicated and no one will ever use it. Therefore, if I was about to define AI strategy, a feasible AI strategy, that is also something you can deploy into production, where the production is your organizations, I would express it this way. Ambition: identify AI use cases, discover them instead of inventing them. Foundations: when you mess with your data and your processes, AI will only amplify this chaos. And the last one, transformation. Deal with natural ignorance as well as you deal with artificial intelligence. And right now, let me tell you a little bit more about the ambition. When it comes to ambition, it's about identifying where AI might be helpful for your organization. It's about discovering where it might be applied, not inventing the thing. It's not about relying solely on your intuition and saying, yeah, when I apply AI to this particular place in my organization, it will work. No, it doesn't work like this. You need to have good understanding of your processes, good understanding of your organization to know where to deploy AI. And you can do it at 3 different levels. The first one, as a productivity level. This is about equipping your organization, your people, your tool, your workers into tools, into AI tools, which will make them more productive. You may think of the second level as of automation. You may identify areas in your processes where you can plug in AI-based automation, regardless if it's generative AI, classical machine learning, or maybe some RPA automations. And the last one, rethink. You can rethink how your business operates in the presence of artificial intelligence. I would say that 95, maybe 97 of our customers at the moment are at the level 1 and 2. But there's this small fraction of customers who already work with us on rethinking how their business operate in presence of artificial intelligence, how to build the organization and processes around artificial intelligence. This is a very difficult task, but also the most beneficial one in the long term. And don't worry, rethinking how your business operate, it's not about firing people. They will just get different duties, they will get just different tasks to perform. Foundations, data quality, garbage in, garbage out. Simple as that. Semantics, semantics layers. When you deploy a large language model, when you deploy so-called AI into your organization, it knows nothing about your business. It knows nothing about your KPIs, taxonomies. I mean, it knows only as much as it read about your company on the internet. So to make it align to your business, to make it align to the daily use, you need to put in place what we call semantic layers. And the last one, governance. Well, governance sounds like a lot of paperwork. It means like something that can slow you down. But no, governance will actually let you move much faster. Here is a little bit of the leak of what happens in the industry of what we talk with our customers right now. Many companies are starting thinking about artificial intelligence as a central AI platform where different solutions might be deployed, rather than of like multiple isolated solutions. This is super beneficial because at this platform, you can get governance in one place. What it means is that once you deploy something in production, which is already governed, you can reuse it, which makes the iterations much faster. So by determining what data the AI may use, what AI can do, and what humans can do with artificial intelligence, you can actually boost the enhancement within your company. Having this in place, you obviously got trusted data. And from trusted data, there is a straightforward path to trusted decisions. And the last one, transformation. Natural ignorance. What is natural ignorance? Let me explain by example. I think this example might be familiar to many of you. There is an organization that buys like, I don't know, 500 Copilot licenses. And this organization expects that it will boost the productivity. But what? Nothing happens. Nothing happens because people ignore this tool or they are not using this properly. It might be Copilot, but it might be any other tool that you can think of. So investing in artificial intelligence without investing in transformation, in change management, is basically throwing money away. You need to educate the people about the capabilities of the technology, why it might be beneficial for their daily work, but also about their limitations. And when it comes to people, when it comes to transformation, change management, it appears that technology is the easy part. Transformation is also much, much more time-consuming. There is this famous Martek's law stating that organizations change logarithmically. They change much slower. Meanwhile, the technology changes exponentially, very rapidly. What it means for you is that when you start investing in artificial intelligence right now, when you start investing in your people, you won't see the results immediately. They will come in weeks, maybe in months, but they will finally come. And now you can say, yeah, on paper, everything looks like easy peasy, unicorns and rainbows. But it's not about this. It's a hard process. Here are like 3 lessons that we learned from transformations projects that we run and navigate with different enterprises. The first one, proof of concept is easy, production is hard. When a pilot POC faces production, it fails. I will tell you something. It also didn't work in POC. It also didn't work in pilot. The thing is how it was validated. We observe it so many times. There is a pilot. A company built a pilot. They presented it to a bunch of people, and the people said, it works, let's move it to production. And this is fundamentally wrong approach. When we are dealing with artificial intelligence, we are dealing with so-called statistical models. And we need to test these models in a statistical way. Meaning, that our evaluation should focus on a benchmark which represents the distribution of the original problem. I mean, it's complex enough to express the problem it solves. And then, based on this benchmark, we can collect so-called quantitative metrics. I call those metrics technical because they are like accuracy, MRR, precision, recall, and so on and so on. This will tell us where the model excels and where it fails badly. And it will let us to take these informed decisions regarding moving forward or stopping straight away. If we move forward, then we present it to a bunch of people, but we collect metrics. We collect qualitative metrics in this case, like cost reduction, user satisfaction, and so on and so on. And only having those two in place, we can move to production. The second thing, many times when we entered the organization where our transformation program was the very first one in the organization, it happened that the AI is already there. It's there as a ChatGPT, as a Claude, as Midjourney. Some people already prototype some solutions on their own. So it happens. It happens with or without you. If you want to have control over it, you need to follow, because it brings such a huge productivity potential that if you do nothing, people will use it anyway. And the last one, and I find it the most difficult one and hard, especially for a large organization. The silos and politics. Different departments building the same thing over and over again, solving the same problems without communicating between each other. From your perspective, it means you are paying for the same thing multiple times. And why this happens? Because different departments want to be the technology-first department within the organization. Their managers want to get promoted. They want to get larger bonuses. This is how the company works. And if you want to change it, you need to change it from the leadership perspective. Because to benefit from the AI revolution, you need to work as a team. AI is a teamwork. It requires collaboration of different departments. Therefore, you need to lead artificial intelligence. And I'm talking to you as the leaders in your organization, because otherwise, artificial intelligence will lead you, but not necessarily in the direction that you want to follow. Thank you very much.